Gifted Balls, best podcast
Woo!
ever.
Ever. Yeah.
Always a great way to start out. Great to see everybody today. Glad you're joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Man, love and life. It's been a busy weekend. There was something during the weekend that I was like, oh man, we got to talk about this on the podcast. And I seriously don't remember half the stuff I talked about this weekend that I thought was so cool.
Oh my gosh. I have a really good one. It says this only, out of all of our listeners, it probably only pertains to one other person. But if we think about it, everyone else in the whole world who could possibly listen, there'd only be 553 others. But for those people, it was some major news. We're super excited. But I wasn't there. Jason told us about it, or told, on our Marco Polo. But Gary Vee was on the Gift Goat Discord this weekend talking a little bit and, just kind of hanging out with everybody and talking. So it was really cool. And, there's been nobody has any idea, honestly, but there's been so much speculation from the first gift is going to be anything from a Tesla to an air fryer to who knows what.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a book.
A Tesla air fryer.
Can you explain to people what the heck you're talking about? Because
I thought we've talked about
500.
I thought we've talked about the Gift Goat before, but yes, if you missed that episode, so VeeFriends, one of the VeeFriends is called the Gift Goat, and what that does is 6 times a year for the next 3 years, Gary will give all 555 of us a gift. So we have not received that first gift yet, and everyone's been waiting patiently, so to say. Especially because it was like people kind of thought the first gift would maybe be this summer, and then it's pushed back. But he's made a couple comments about it. But one that he made, because I went back through the Discord last night and read what he was talking about. He said that a couple weeks ago he had made a decision that's changing the Gift Goat forever.
I heard him say that, or I didn't hear him. I read that.
Yeah. So I think that's super, super exciting. I imagine in the next couple of weeks, obviously we'll talk about it on here, but I have no idea. I have no idea what it could be.
No, and I think it's going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's going to be a book.
I maybe one of the gifts are going to be a book. I can't see the first gift being a book. I already have 180 books to pass out, so it'll be some of our listeners will be getting books. I told one of our new listeners that I had talked to a couple weekends ago, Allison, thank you for listening and enjoy it. I did tell her she was getting a book for Christmas. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, listen to the podcast and you'll hear it, and make sure I get your address.
My daughter, who's in college, was home this weekend, and I said something about how I already had, she said she needed to get her Christmas shopping done because of supply chain issues. I'm like, yeah, I've already got yours done. And she's like, oh, you have? And Amy's like, you are not giving her a book. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm giving her a book.
Oh, she's getting to that.
Well, and then the missus was like, yeah, I've already got 12 people that I'm planning on giving those books to. I'm like, oh, good. Because I bought 24, so apparently she's giving away my books too.
That's nice of her. That's super awesome.
It is. And I just spilled my coffee, I think, as I was drinking.
So those that aren't listening, or I'm sorry, those that are watching, you can see. And if you're listening, you can't see. These are both actually the same color. Something's wrong with Brian's camera.
These are the same color, and I think mine is just yellow.
Yeah. So we have our beanies on today. So super exciting.
So this is a yellow top, and I think it matches.
Something's wrong with I did not send you a yellow one. They're all the same color. A yellow one.
This is for sure yellow. Listeners, viewers, give us a shout. Do you think my head is yellow? This is yellow for reference. Here's orange for reference, so I can look like Mickey Mouse. So I've got orange and yellow, and the hat that Kilted says is orange. So it could be my camera, but this is orange and this is yellow.
I guess mine's not quite this orange. Could be this fluorescent light that I have here, but
you make sure the lighting is always set so it'll always be orange. I think
it's shiny.
Beautiful.
I get it shiny right on my forehead.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, it looks good that way. So I don't know. Have you gotten anybody to reach out to you about the beanies yet?
I haven't. I've reached out to a few people. I think people are a little leery, which I totally understand. Because, I'll write it like, hey, cool hat on your guy. I have them. I bought a bunch of them. I'm sending out to people just because, for good vibes. Like, send me your address. And people are like, so.
They're like,
no.
No. Maybe you should say, go listen to our podcast. You'll see an example of the beanie. This is
that's true. I'll have to send it from now on. I'll have to link this.
And even episode. If it was a scam, the way we scam people is you would send us your address and I would send you free candy. So
yeah,
I don't think you understand how we scam people. It's normally by giving away free stuff. We're not takers.
So. I'm not too concerned. I mean, I'm going to keep on doing it. I was Saturday. I probably spent an hour online, just look like on Twitter, like looking at profile pictures and sending out DMs. And there was one where it was an ape-like ape. So I followed that thread a little bit and I saw a bunch of beanies on there. So I reached out to those people. So It's fine. I got a bunch of follows from it, but
hopefully some people will take you up on it.
Sure.
Maybe the 8.1 will make a nails with the beanie.
Oh yeah, there we go. You've been you're big time on that community.
So seriously, I think I'm obsessed. I think I'm obsessed with that community.
That's awesome.
And I don't know if I should talk about it too much because I'm obsessed, right? So I don't know what it is about that community. So we're talking about 8.1 in the nails, and you can see it on our Twitter. We've been shouting it out, but they've got a Discord channel, and they've done this thing like a lot of groups have to help build a community, but it's working really well. And I think there's 2 or 3 reasons why it is. So what they've done is they're going to be doing their drop as a Dutch auction on OpenSea. So this does a few different things that are positive. The first one is you get to see what you're getting, right?
Okay.
It's a Dutch auction. I think you get to see. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
That would make sense, though.
But it's a Dutch auction, which means it gets rid of all the bots. So all the people who are scamming and getting thousands of wallets at once, like unless they're going to buy it at the ceiling, it gets rid of all of those. Which if they're going to buy it at the ceiling, well, yay, right? Like, okay. But it gets rid of all that. And what they have done is they've done challenges and some other things on their Discord to allow people a chance to mint on the floor.
Okay.
Right. So you get a guaranteed mint and it's guaranteed at the floor. And what they're doing is they're like, we want to reward our community. Like, we don't want it to be, whales coming in and snagging everything, and then our community is left high and dry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's nice. And so what they're doing is they have a whole bunch of different things. The biggest one that people are focused on is what a lot of people do. And it's like, you have to get to a certain level to get whitelisted, which is normal. But what they've done is they're pushing that in order to get it, you have to be actively engaged. It's not by the number of messages you send, and it's not like a delayed, it's actual engagement. Yeah. And so that gets you in. And to help people like introverts, like we have a buddy who's like, listen, I don't like talking on Discord. I don't think I can do this. Well, then they started a trivia competition, and he's like, heck yeah. And he's doing trivia all the time. And now his levels are flying up. So again, it's just engagement, and that helps. The other thing they've done is they call them unsung heroes, which is weird because they're actually sung heroes because they're telling people about it, right? But the unsung heroes get a free drop, and it's people that they think are doing a great job in the community, and it puts them up for moderator status.
Oh, nice.
Right. And so they're doing that, which I got that last night. So now I'm an unsung hero.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I know. I was like totally geeked out. I didn't realize I had it. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, They're like, we're giving you an unsung hero. And the other thing that makes this awesome, which is a little bit different than other ones I've been at, is the founders are actively involved pretty much 24/7 on the Discord. So anytime you want, like, you can be messaging and it's an actual founder messaging you back. So like Gradients has watched our podcast, right?
Yes,
and
thank
she'll
you.
be on here messaging. Like we had a whole conversation about like Taco Bell, right? She had never had Taco Bell before. And I was like, that's like our anniversary dinner is Taco Bell. And so she was like, I'm going to have to try Taco Bell. And then like yesterday, Gradients is on there and a person's like, oh, I was actually lived in Belgium for a while, which is, I think, where Gradients is from. And she's like, oh, I used to live at this city. And the person's like, really? I lived in this city. And they realized they were like 1 block away from each other.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so that's like the cool thing. Like it's people are getting involved. They're talking. It's not just random. And then the other weird fun thing is they have a huge Nick Cage obsession. Like the people in the chat keep doing Nick Cage gifs or memes, and it's freaking hilarious. But yeah, I'm totally obsessed. So like where I used to be on Twitter all the time or on Instagram or whatever, now I like sit down and I pull up my Discord and check out the 8.1 and see who's talking and what they're doing and what's going on. So
that's cool.
It might be an unhealthy obsession right now.
Uh-oh. So you're like that meme where your wife is laying in bed wondering if you're thinking about girls and you're just wondering what's going on in the 8.1 Discord.
Yeah, I wouldn't be wondering about it. I'd be on 8.1. So she's like, he's texting these girls all the time. Well, I mean, there's some of them are girls,
that meme is so
but,
funny. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Yeah, so yeah, the 8.1 is their community is lit. And it's funny because somebody was on there today and you're getting like a few of the flippers in here.
Okay.
Right. And they'll be like, how get whitelisted? And, what do I have to do to be a blue? And and people are like, well, you do this. And they're like, that's too hard. And they're like, you're supposed to be part of the community. And they'll start, and they're super chill and nice about it, where they're like, oh, well, it's not that hard. Do this and do this. And they're like, yeah, but how do I trust you guys? And they're like, well, we're like the actual founders. And they're like, what? You're the founders talking to me? And they're like, yeah, like we're the artists and we're doing this. And, after about
That's
20
cool.
minutes, the person is like, well, like what? I still don't know if I like can trust your work. And they're like, you've been talking to us for 20 minutes. You can talk to us for the next 3 weeks. And then you can decide. Right. But
you've got time.
You got time. And I'm loving how that community's working. But I can't shout them out enough. Now, this brought up a huge NFT issue you and I have talked about, and I'm having again, right? You want to be part of the community. You want to be part of the community like the Bored Ape community, right? Or the VeeFriends community. And so you're hitting this weird part where you can tell by how some of the people are talking, they're only in this to make money. NFTs are just to make money, which is fine.
Yep.
And then you've got people who are just in this to be collectors. Right. And like you and I are kind of in the middle. We're both.
Yes, for sure.
Which is weird because like when I first joined it, like I was like, I'm in here to make money. Right. I'm doing this. I'm coming in to make money. But I keep falling in love with projects and falling in love with what people are doing. Yeah. And so you get caught into like say 8.1 where they're great, but you got to understand that at the end of the day, you're going to be buying that and keeping it forever now because you love the community. And they're like, what value you get, we're going to be doing 8 drops, with this. So 7 more things. That doesn't add value. Like it does if you're a flipper.
Yes.
But if you're a person, like I'm like, oh my gosh, I love the community. You didn't add value to me. That's what I'm buying to begin with. I'm buying that community and those things. And I'm not planning on getting rid of those things. So I think the only way to do both is to do like what I did with Lucky Mannequin, which is, all right, I'm going to buy 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And one of them I'm buying for me, and one of them I'm buying to flip. But it's a weird dichotomy for us. Right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be just to be in that spot. Like, because usually when I'm buying something, like I know in my mind, like, okay, I'm keeping this or I'm flipping this.
Right.
You know, and there's some others where I'll try to get 2 or 3 of them. Like I want to be part of this, but I think that there's money that can be made as well. So there is that. But yeah, this one I'm excited about the story. I think it's going to be fun. The people seem cool. I've been more of a lurker than a poster on there. Although I can't remember if it was 8.1 this weekend or if it was somebody else, but someone suggested, and I can't even remember now, something about orcs, and they were going to do a role-playing game or something with it. But the artwork looks super cool. And usually I saw it on Twitter. I'm sorry. I saw it on Twitter. But there wasn't a huge community. And usually I just stay away from that. But the artwork was like a cool D&D, like half orc artwork. So I was like, that's sweet just to have. I would buy one of those and just keep it in my nerd file. It'd be on the wall displayed like with the other cool NFTs. Yes. But so I joined the community, and like all of a sudden, like, you know, sometimes it's like you're getting all the notifications right away. So I go in and I disable it, the notifications. But something, I don't know if it was because I was in a bad area yesterday or whatever, but my phone was blowing up all day. I tried to change the notifications twice, like just on that page. And so finally I just deleted it. I don't know. Maybe if it comes across my radar again, I'll grab one of the pictures. That's cool. But it was like all the welcome texts and everything were going. Because I went to the Renaissance Festival yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And it was awesome. Had a great time. And I mean, I always have fun with that.
That's
so yeah, cool. I wasn't paying attention to my phone, but it was vibrating in my pocket all day.
Yeah. Well, and you know, that happens. It's like, I don't know, there's a few of them, like the hundreds. I don't own hundreds, but I joined their Discord and it blows my phone up every once in a while. And I'm like, stop that. Like, I don't have one. Which I don't know, maybe I should.
Well, I was thinking of that. You and I had talked about this on one of our bonus episodes, that the Sympathy for the Devils are cool because they're paying the community back in ETH, like as a profit sharing. But yeah, the moderators get on there and they'll tag everybody like 4 or 5 times a day. I'm just like,
yeah, don't do that. Right, I just won't follow your thing. So speaking of one of these weird things where you're doing it for the money and yet it's not, like I have my VeeFriend, which the whole point of my VeeFriend was for money. But now, speaking of VeeFriends, instantly Gary V sends a Discord message. I love the community, and so I'm like, that's been one of the big things that we've talked about in episode after episode. Like, I'm terrified of losing that community. Of course, right now, like, this is the dumb part. If I had sold my VeeFriend at 20, I could be buying in and getting the one I wanted, that Firefly, for 16 right now. There's cores for 14 and a half.
Wow.
Right? Like the floor just dropped out. I mean, not dropped. 12 is still a pretty darn good floor.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm sitting here going, cripe, if I sold mine for 19 or 20, it'd be doing pretty good.
12 was the floor a couple weeks ago when I bought my
iguana.
Extra iguana.
Is he not listed anymore? Oh,
he's
there
still
he is.
listed. He's just at 17.
Yeah, I found him. He was on a different part of the screen. But yeah, that's another one where I'm like, I want the community, but on the end of the day, that is there strictly for money.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll wait till it goes back up to 20 again before I sell it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sell it for 12.
No.
So, not diamond hands, maybe platinum hands, right?
There you go.
But yeah. So anyway, I think the nails is going to be a similar thing, which in turn is going to raise the price up just like it does with the apes, right? If everybody gets in. And that's one of the things that's really cool. They're like, listen, we're going to have at least 100 people whitelisted who are genuine parts of the community. And, you know, they're going to get these first. And I think that's awesome because those people are also the people who are going to hold on to it. So you're guaranteeing a set of people who aren't going to be flipping, aren't going to be selling. And that's going to be good. And I mentioned to them today, I'm like, I had a problem with that. And it was Stoner Cats, right? Like you and I were into the Stoner Cats Discord so early, right? So early, and like literally talk to the founders in chats.
You were the first person to ask a question on a live chat.
I was the first person, right? Ever. Like I was involved and like, committed to that. And then the drop happened and the whales scooped up everything. Mm-hmm. And so the people who and I got so ticked off about that. I'm like, I was part of this. I was in it for the long haul. And because of the way you did this, you allowed all the whales to scoop these up. Mm-hmm. And, I could have done what you did, which is buy at the floor, but I was bitter. And so I did.
Yeah.
And maybe I still will.
But. And my prices come way down, but I wanted to be part of the project. I mean, right. I'm part of the Discord. I'm not on there a lot. I'll check updates and things like that.
Well, and the thing that's nice about Stoner Cats is it's really similar to 8.1. They're not selling you just an NFT. They're selling you the story and being part of the story and being part of this community with the story.
Yeah.
Right. But it's hard in NFT world right now because a huge portion of NFT world is just there for the money. And mm-hmm. they are doing all of those drops, which will help give people money, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So especially
if people picked up 2 and just sold their extra drops when they came in.
But even if a whale came in, like if you're saying, hey, I'm going to get 8 for the price of 1, mm-hmm. right? Like, so you're paying 0.05, but you're going to get 8 of them. Then it might be worth it because you could sell those and think about it like, okay, so the guinea pig may not be somebody's jam, right? Mm-hmm. But imagine if they did artwork for like a super cool lion.
Yeah, you never know what the other friends are going to be.
Right. And people might be like, oh my gosh, I didn't want a guinea pig, but I really want a lion. Mm-hmm. Right. And so those might be a lot cooler. So you never know.
It's a cool idea nonetheless.
It's a super cool idea. So let's see other things. Went to a marching band competition. It was terrific. Right. It was awesome. The school's band dominated. It wasn't even close.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I went to my first ever toy convention this weekend as well. It was a jam-packed weekend.
Yeah.
On Saturday, there was one in a little town nearby us. It was toys, cards, and Hot Wheels. The card area was in a different area. We got there a bit late, but the toys were super fun. It was fun to see a lot of it from when we were kids. A lot of the
that's awesome.
The stuff that's been, some of the Transformers and like Voltron has been re-released since Netflix and things like that. But they had some old stuff there too, so it was pretty awesome. It was fun.
That is super cool. Oh, the other thing. Did you get anything?
I did. I was looking. There's a Hot Wheel of the Tesla Model X that's just like mine. I've seen it online, but that's one of those things I want to see it in real life. Yeah. And I asked one guy. He's like, I don't have that, but I have a Cybertruck. So, damn you!
Did you get
it? Picked up two Hot Wheel Cybertrucks.
Heck yeah! Heck yeah.
So excited. I can't remember. Did I stay on here that I placed an order for a Cybertruck?
I don't know.
If I said it on the show. I placed an order for a Cybertruck. What were you going to say?
So the other thing I learned about was Spell Table, which you and I were both big Magic the Gathering players, and we play Arena a little bit. But one of the things we missed is playing with the group and playing with our own cards. Yeah. And this group of people who I used to play Dota with way back when, and we were beta testers for Dota and League of Legends. So a good group of guys. And they messaged me and were like, hey, get Spell Table. If you don't have it, we're going to play a Commander game.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, so I got Spell Table, super useful. And it was funny because I was like, well, I got to find my Commander deck. And I'm like, oh, it's right up on top. And so like I get it out and, we get on to play and they like look and they're like, you have a Commander deck with the big cards? That's like an original Commander deck. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is it? I'm like, I don't know. I just pulled out the box.
Someone told me that too.
And then like one of my buddies got on who doesn't really play a lot of Magic. He plays like D&D and some other stuff. And he's like, he goes, look at Ball sitting there playing, no mat, all the rest of you with your fancy mats. That's OG. And he goes, and look, he doesn't have any of his in those nice little sleeves you all got. And they're like, seriously, you've got like an original deck there. They're like, it might be worth something. I'm like, you think so? I go, what do you think about these? And they're like, what?
Oh, you have them right there.
And I'm like, what about these things? I go, are these worth anything? And they're like, you have like $8,000 in your hand right now, just flipping through. And I was like, yeah, we can play Sherazade.
I can't believe you took Sherazade out of your deck.
I know. That's what my other buddy was like, hey, we can play your Sherazade. And I'm like, actually, I killed that deck because I took them all out because I was thinking about selling them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But they're like, those are like some expensive cards. I'm like, yep, they might be.
You're not letting Cal play with those anymore.
You got rid of all yours, right?
I did. I sold all mine. Bought other stuff.
Yeah, which is not bad. I thought about doing that. I thought about taking these all into a game shop and just buying boxes, right? Saying, here, take all these, give me like $8,000 worth of boxes, and we'll see if I can flip again and flip again and flip again.
We wouldn't be able to get stuff that old. You either need really new, like rare stuff, or like
that's what I was going to say. Get really new stuff and see if I can get the rares and flip them fast.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway, that was a fun episode. Oh, yes. We're going to have to interview Taco Bell again. She was busy thinking this weekend, and I think she's got a couple big projects.
Oh.
And so we'll have to interview her and hear about these projects and where her thought process are. So I think we gave her a real tiny bit of inspiration, and now she's like running with it, and she has big stuff to do.
Good.
And I think it's along the same lines as Fame Lady and World of Women and Boss Beauties and all of that. And so I'm excited to see what she comes up with, but we'll have to.
That's super awesome. Yes.
Have to get her back on to tell us about her new plans and, do a push. So thanks for joining us, people. We'll try to get back on here in the next day or two, and hopefully we'll have some more NFT action. We didn't do a lot of buying lately, just kind of watching the market, and probably because I'm too obsessed with the 8.1. So
that's awesome.
But all right. Well, you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining us. This is Ballbuster signing off.
Kilter Dragon Jerry. Love you all.